Hi and welcome to another Carpenter Tutoring tutorial. I'm Amy and my job is to make your work smarter, not harder, and today we're going to be talking about factoring quadratic equations using the difference of squares. The difference of squares is a special formula that we can use to quickly factor a certain subset of quadratic equations. These are quadratic equations that only have a terms and c terms, meaning their middle term is equal to 0. Most of the time as well, we want these to be perfect squares. We'll talk about that a little bit more with our example, but it is possible to use difference of squares even if the a and c that are left are not themselves perfect squares. As an example, let's take a look at the equation d squared minus 9 equals 0. The first thing that tips me off that this could possibly be a difference of squares is the fact that we're missing our b term. I have a d squared term, I have a c term, but I don't have anything with just d, or d to the first. The second thing that points out to me that this could be a difference of squares is the fact that we do have subtraction between our two terms. Notice that difference of squares indicates we always have to have subtraction. So if you see something like this, but with addition between it, you got something else going on. Now, difference of squares is always in a set format. The standard way that this is shown is a squared minus b squared is equal to the factors a plus b times a minus b. Another way we could show this is if you think of your starting point as c minus d, then your factors would be the square root of c plus the square root of d times the square root of c minus the square root of d. No matter which way you prefer thinking about it, both are going to work. So we can take a look at our terms in the equation d squared minus 9 and figure out how it would be factored. Our first term is the d squared. That is going to turn into the first part of each of our factors. So we have to take the term that we have, d squared, and take its square root. That will become the first term of each factor. The square root of d squared is d, so I know that both factors will begin with d. Then the 9, and notice that in difference of squares we don't bring the minus sign along with us as a negative sign. We just take the 9 itself. So the 9 represents either b squared or d, however you like to think about it, and will make up the second term of our factors. That means I also have to take the square root of this value in order to find the second term of each of my factors. Well, the square root of 9 is 3, so that means the second term of each of my factors is going to be 3. Finally, with difference of squares, I always have one factor with addition between the first and second terms, and the other factor with subtraction between them. So as long as I have one of each, it doesn't matter the order, I know that I have factored this correctly. So thanks to difference of squares, I know that the factored form of d squared minus 9 is the quantity d plus 3 times the quantity d minus 3. Now that we're in factored form, from here you could solve if you wanted to. We won't cover solving here because our goal for today was just to factor completely. As always, thank you for spending part of your day with me. I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if there are any other equations or topics that you'd like to see covered, and I'll catch you next time.